Old players from decades ago were instrumental figures in today's philosophy. The most well-known of these players include Zinedine Zidane, Johan Cruyff, and even legendary players like Pelé and Maradona. However, there's a huge issue that has arisen from this. These old players have gotten a lot of disrespect when it comes to what players can do now. This is due to recency bias and the lack of talent that older players possess in comparison with modern players. This is not naturally awful, it is simply two separate eras of football.
The King, Black Pearl, the greatest footballer of all time. These are just some of the fan-bestowed accolades Brazilian footballer Pelé earned during his 20-year career.
Johan Cruyff, a name on everybody's lips when we ask the question, who are the greatest players ever?
Many people tend to dismiss older players, claiming they lack the skill and physicality of today's younger stars. This perspective has led to a lot of hate and unfair criticism toward veterans of the sport. But is this view justified? Or are we overlooking the unique advantages that older players bring to the game? Younger players in the game are becoming non-compliant with players they didn't grow up seeing. So who's in the right? This can go one way or the other depending on who you're asking. So today I'm going to try to answer the absolute question. Are older players better than today's players? Let's get right into it. Before we get into that question, we need to be asking ourselves what constitutes an old player. And in this video, my definition will be someone that played before the year 2000. So no Ronaldinho or Ronaldo, if you kind of wondered. And yes, I was referring to the Brazilian Ronaldo, not the Portuguese one. To me, older players seem to have this sort of drive and intensity that newer players really don't have. And this is obviously nothing against them, it's just that I feel like I've seen this common issue throughout the newer players.
They live in a different era. The mentality are not the same.
What's the difference?
The anger. I think that they have the things more easily. All the teams, all leagues in the world, the youngers, they are not the same of my generation.
Players from the pre-2000 era frequently endured adversity, which shaped their determination and mental toughness. Unlike modern athletes, who have access to excellent training facilities, medical support, and sports psychology, older players have to maneuver their careers with fewer advantages. This meant dealing with fewer advanced injury treatments, fundamental conditioning locations, and often tougher playing settings. Legends such as Pelé and Diego Maradona were raised in difficult socioeconomic circumstances and overcame them through their love of football. Their ability to thrive through such hardships show their mental toughness and commitment. Becoming the best players in the world doesn't come easy. And that brings me to my next point. And now, the second question that we need to be asking ourselves is, who were the best older players before the year 2000? And that is a great question, a pretty important one. Many people recall older players like Eusebio, who was really good for his time, and he had the world at his feet. I also believe he won a Ballon d'Or in case you ever wondered or really even cared. Another great option that could be in contention as the world's best old player could be someone like Michael Laudrup from Denmark. To be fair, a lot of people might not know who that is, but football fans like us really did know who Michael Laudrup was. He dominated the 1990s and really is a great option for that old player title that I'm describing right now. But for the sake of this video and in me trying to be more simplistic, the player or players that I'll be choosing as the best older player will be Pelé and Maradona.
So it's this great debate about Pelé and Maradona.
Right.
But I was brought up in the
So Pelé for you.
Yeah, Pelé for me. But
Diego Maradona, one of the greatest footballers of all time.
Being considered the best football players of all time, Brazilian Pelé and Argentinian Maradona are two of the sport's greatest legends who divide opinions on who was the best.
They are often regarded as some of the greatest football players of all time. RIP to both of them, obviously, but they were revolutionary, and both were considered the #1 players of their times. Also, they both won World Cups for Brazil and Argentina. They achieved everything a player could hope for. They're probably the first players you think of when I say the best players of all time, right? Pelé and Maradona are legendary for their unmatched abilities, game-changing performances, and huge contributions to their respective national teams. Pelé's incredible goal-scoring record and Maradona's mesmerizing dribbling and the hand of God goal have cemented their status as icons in the football world. But before I convince you why they're the best older players ever, you must know a little bit about Rivellino and Zizinho to fully grasp why I say they are. Rivellino and Zizinho were really influential figures in football. Both were really good players at their time, more specifically when Maradona and Pelé were little kids. These players really did shape the styles of Pelé and Maradona. For Rivellino, his technical brilliance is what influenced Pelé in his early years as a footballer. Rivellino was known for his exceptional technical skills, including his powerful shots, precise passing, and excellent dribbling. These qualities made him a pivotal player in Brazilian football and set a high standard for younger players, including Pelé. For Zizinho, his versatile skill set is what Maradona admired the most about him. Zizinho was celebrated for his versatility, capable of playing in multiple attacking roles. His dribbling, vision, and goal-scoring ability were attributes that Maradona admired and emulated in his own game. Both Rivellino and Zizinho left an unforgettable effect on football, setting the standards for talent and creativity for future generations ahead. Pelé and Maradona, recognized as the two best players of all time, were inspired by these giants and incorporated parts of their mentors' play into their own games, pushing them to reach their highest level of football genius. And with that mumbo jumbo that I've been talking about, we need to be answering the final question: are older players better? And the definitive answer is, you've guessed it, yes for me. As fanatics, we often criticize players from the past, making big statements like, it was easier competition back then, or older players had no skills whatsoever. And when people say these things, it really drives me crazy because I feel like that's not true at all. So older players should be respected and honored, as they paved the way for players we have today. They were truly the innovators that brought so much knowledge into the game, and that can never be created or even replicated. Well, that's kind of my rant about the subject. I kind of hope I made a really compelling case for it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are amazing. Let me know if you enjoy these sort of topics, because I feel like I have been enjoying making them for a few months now. I'm really curious to see if people are really interested in the stuff that I've been making recently, because I really do enjoy making them. And well, I guess I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.